Back from traveling from Nashville, and I didn't get a chance to film a wrap-up of this whole experience. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes and break down to you what were my biggest takeaways from Nashville, why I went in the first place. I mean, I know I mentioned the Brand Builders group and getting to work on my business, which is always super exciting. Right, it is the day 2 beginning, and I'm overwhelmed. We're gonna talk about it. This is the venue of where we're at. We're at Patent Logistics in Brentwood. All right, so to kick this off, what is Brand Builders event? I didn't even have time to fill you in on all the things. It's been go, go, go since I got here. But the Brand Builders group is a membership directory and network and training courses on how to build a personal brand and then monetize that brand. And so if you're someone who doesn't have a personal brand yet, this is something that I talk about a lot, and it's the essence of who you are. It's not what you do, it's not who you serve, it's not how many followers you have, it's who you are. It's what people say about you when you're not around. It's your reputation, and hopefully a good one. So for a lot of people who are here, it ranges from podcast hosts to authors to YouTubers to professional speakers. Who else is here? I mean, so many service professionals, like we have chiropractors, we have people in the medical industry, we have CPAs and tax accountants, and they're all building their business, but alongside their business, they're building their personal brand, because what's super important is that your brand goes with you wherever you go. So if you think you don't have a brand, you do. It's just not online, and that is your brand. And so the incentive of coming to this event as part of the membership is that I get to sit at a table of 6 to 8 other like-minded thinkers who are in similar businesses or looking for similar needs in their business. And then we are going around and saying, hey, this is the #1 problem I have in my business right now. They get to help me clarify what I really need most. They give feedback on that. After we get that feedback, I'm gonna get the chance today to stand up in front of the entire group, which is about 60 people, and say, this is what is really most important right now. This is what I want to know. And then Rory and AJ Vaden, who are the founders of the Brand Builders group, give me about 8 minutes of their time and advice, which is priceless. They have been through so much success with other entrepreneurs that getting FaceTime with them is everything. So I'm really looking forward to today. And I came here with the intention of asking about the podcast, how to grow it, what am I not doing? I'm starting to get frustrated because I feel like I am doing all the things, but I'm not seeing the ROI on it. But instead, after yesterday of hearing so many people, we heard about 30 people share their experiences, share their struggles and what they're working on. I feel like that's not top priority anymore. I feel like that's gonna come over time. I am gonna get a little bit more strategic on SEO. We're likely gonna change the podcast name from Work Like a Mother to something more search friendly. But really, my big struggle is, how do I continue to be multi-passionate and build a personal brand without confusing the audience? Because I know it's possible. And not to say I'm a celebrity, but there are celebrities who do this, right? They have restaurants, they have cookbooks, they have a sports team, they have XYZ. Like, they're involved in so many different ancillary businesses, but yet they have one personal brand. So do I need an Instagram profile for every single business? Or can I still run real estate and podcast and myself and a honey company all through one, you know? So I feel like the general advice in the business space is you have to be specific to be terrific, is what they always say. But in my case, I will never be just one trick wonder, you know? Like, I will always have my hands in multiple projects, and I like the ability to be fluid and be flexible and kind of change as see fits for my family. And that's something that I'm super passionate about right now, where I'm not about scaling and building a business to $1 million. I'm about maintaining my quality of life and building a lifestyle business that fits me. Not that I fit it, but it fits me. So it allows me to be home. It allows me to homeschool. It allows me to travel whenever I want to, for the most part, and really get to invest in things that I care about, instead of sticking to one thing and drilling it home and nailing the hammer over and over and over to drive sales. Like, that's just not me. And so that will be the mission today, is to hear feedback and get advice from the founders, and hopefully give me some introspection and excitement for the future. So I'll keep you posted. And then we are actually here for 3 more days after this. We have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I know I haven't really vlogged so much in the conference because it's been so jam-packed with good information. I'm trying to write notes like a crazy person and then also record the good clips, but I'll fill you in as we do the fun things too. So hang tight. Biggest takeaway, honestly, was that it's an amazing city. Like Tennessee and Nashville itself is just this cultural little hotspot for country music that was really special. So we ended up staying in the Virgin Hotel, which was right in the middle of the music district. And so literally right down the street and across the street is RCA, Sony Records, you name it, all of the big recording companies are right there, and they all have like their little banners in their yard in the front lawn area saying like the newest hot record that they just launched. So these are the labels that are doing the Morgan Wallens and the Luke Combs, and all of them are like right there. So that was pretty cool. It's also a super clean city. So we did drive around a ton of places, like as far as an hour outskirts of all around the city. All right, I don't know if this is recommended, probably not, but we are in a rental truck going on an off-road trail. So Ryan is out assessing the situation and see what happens. We'll see if we make it on the other side of this thing or not. The west and south side are definitely way nicer, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Coming from Hawaii, it's quintessential America. So big front lawns with American flags everywhere, anywhere from like colonial older style homes and Victorian, all the way up to really modern brand new construction homes that, I mean, just looking from the road, these are $2 million to $5 million homes. They're massive, like 3,000 to 10,000 square feet. Huge, like big circular driveways with pools in the backyard. It was just really fun to drive around and explore and feel that sense of like awe again, because there's not too many houses in Hawaii that are even over 3 mil, to be honest. Most of our homes are going to be in that $1 to $2 million range for a single family. Yes, you can find those homes for 10 mil to 15 mil in Kailua and Hawaii Kai and Kahala, Diamond Head area, but that's pretty much it. Maybe a few on the like the North Shore. But to see them all bam next to each other, and it's like so much wealth is in Tennessee and that Nashville area that we were driving in, and you can feel it. So it was just kind of refreshing to be around very high producing people. And actually my brand coach that I work with, Larissa, she's in a friend group at her church where all of her girlfriends are nannies for these really wealthy families. And like that is a whole industry there because of these like high income earners. They have nannies, they have cooks, like all this thing, like there's a whole industry for it. It's just fascinating to like talk about it because it's not very common that you hear about it in Hawaii. Another thing was, again, just how clean the city was in the city, like in downtown. The trash cans are not overflowing. It smelled clean. There wasn't really any theft or looting or any sense of safety issues, to be honest. Really refreshing to see a city that was taking care of itself. One of our Uber drivers had said they've pretty much rebuilt the entire city over the last 10 to 20 years, and you can feel that. We were actually looking for more historic areas, and we're like, where are all the really old houses, like the rundown ones, or like the old warehouses and stuff? You can tell they've ripped them out and rebuilt these new luxury towers everywhere, or just brand new construction homes. There isn't a lot of gentrification where they're keeping the old character and then finishing it again. They're just wiping it out and bringing in brand new construction. And so it does feel like a very new city. So that was cool. Takeaway from the brand side of things, like, gosh, it was a great perspective reset for me. So one of the things that I have been feeling, because I'm a solopreneur, I do a lot of things on my own. I don't really have a ton of friends because I'm so far out in Waianae that no one comes and visits me. I have to go to them. And there isn't really a lot of people in my close circle who have the same similar goals that I have, where I'm trying to expand my audience outside of my state. I'm really trying to network with other people on the same journey. And so that's what the secret sauce is of this brand builders group, where you're literally in a room with 60 other entrepreneurs doing the same exact thing. And everyone's on a different point in their journey. Some people are just starting their brand development. Some people are 2 years in, 5 years in, 10 years in. There's established authors in the room. There's bestsellers in the room. There's established podcast hosts who are making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 on their podcast, and that's their main income stream now. But the point was that everyone in the room, just regardless of where you were in your career journey, felt like they were behind. And I thought that was just like so there's like a common thread. We all feel like we're not doing enough. We all feel like we're too slow or that we're not where we want to be, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is that we're inspired to grow, and we really have this motivation to get better at our craft. Like, we really are all there to improve ourselves. But the other thing was that you just can't compare yourself with anyone else, to be honest. I'm going to do some podcast episodes on this specifically, but the common Q&A thread that I kept hearing over and over, where we got a chance to go up to the front of the room, answer our hot topic question to Rory and AJ, who are the founders of the company, the answer was consistently like, your competition isn't smarter than you. Their content isn't better than you. They just have more sophisticated systems and money behind their systems than you. Meaning they're spending more in ads and other back office things to get the views. It's not that your content is any better or worse. They just have more oomph behind it, pushing it out there. And I was like, okay, so that means if I'm doing organic reach, then what I'm doing is actually pretty good. And it was just a really comforting reminder to just, again, tunnel vision. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Stop feeling like you're not enough, or that you're not doing enough, or it's taking too long. I've only been podcasting for 6 months, and I kept having this like cloud over my head of like, it's not doing anything. Why are we doing this? We're spending this money. What's it worth, right? But then Larissa let me know that someone in Texas messaged her or like told her that she was listening to the podcast. And then if you look on our analytics, like there's people all across the country that are actually listening to the podcast. And I get so small thinking that I'm only reaching, 30 people in my city. And that's not true. It's actually international, or not international, it's national already. Actually, there was one Canadian, so maybe that makes us international. But you just keep going. Like, honestly, I gotta get to 100 episodes before I even look at my analytics. I gotta hit to 300 episodes before we even start boosting ads. And I was like, okay, we have just scratched the surface, so a little patience goes a long way. But I needed the perspective shift, and I needed the permission to be okay with where I am right now, because it's hard to convince yourself of that sometimes. So this is why mentors, this is why coaches, this is why communities and memberships really are the difference sometimes in the make it break it between deciding to quit or deciding to just keep going. So I needed this 1,000%. The relationships that I met and built were priceless. I will now be going to this event every single year, depending on schedule, but they have multiple accelerator events throughout the year. And I'm just excited to keep continuing on, have reunions with some of these ladies who are incredible. There's a police. And just really getting baby steps, like to just keep going forward. That's the biggest thing. Don't stop. The only sure way it's not going to work is when you quit. And so I'm just going to keep going. So last call to action, if you have not listened to the Work Like a Mother podcast, we're going to link it in the show notes below. This is my new baby. It's not my income earner right now. It's a passion project to help women like me, that were me. It's the person that I used to be. So I used to feel overwhelmed. I used to feel like I was doing all the things and it just wasn't enough, until I figured out systems and structures and boundaries to free up my time and get my time back to allow me to be more present with my kids, more present with my husband, and actually have self-care and time for myself and permission to do that. So it's called the Work Like a Mother podcast. If you guys listen to it, please, please, please just share it to one other woman that you think could make her day a little bit better. And that's all I ask of you right now. And I would just love to keep spreading the word. And again, if I can change one person's life for the better, then it's all worth it. So I will see you guys on the next one. I haven't done a vlog in a while, so this is kind of fun. But I don't know, this is just the beginning. So stay along for the ride.